Hi everyone, I am Kristen Reversloot from CRO, and today I'm going to walk you through the CRO process blueprint. You can also see the blueprint on the CRO website under the blueprint section. So when we start working with most of our clients, we do try to encourage some form of research. We like to dig in the data. Some of that research also may include, qualitative, quantitative, but user experience analysis, etc. That really feeds a roadmap in some cases, or puts together a list at least of ideation. On the blueprint in front of you, you'll see the little red bubbles. That's more on the Spiro front, or could be your internal team, where the little yellow bubbles reflect the client, the CL that you're seeing there. So on these first stages, again, we've done some form of research. We've gathered a list of ideas, and the ideation phase has taken place. You generally have the strategists and a group of other people involved in that process. Then the idea gets into validation, and that's where we involve more people in our mix, which include that technical feasibility step, where we get the developers and some of the other technical team members involved. And they're generally assessing that idea and validating it together with the tech stack that you may have in the mix that, we're going to look to run that experience through. We also run the ideas through the PXL framework. That helps us just to prioritize the specific ideas and understand, from a perspective of which of the ideas are really going to have an impact, either on lead gen or just revenue or ROI, or just those metrics really that, we're trying to measure against. So at that point, once it's been run through that PXL framework that we have, we then present the idea in some kind of conceptual form to the client. So you can see on that PXL and that presenting the idea on that conceptual front to the clients are often involved in those pieces of the process, just to really understand, when we're bringing the idea to you, this is kind of what we're thinking conceptually. And we've also really run it through that framework, and this is how we're going to be held accountable to see the results on that specific experience. At that point, the idea goes into the UX side of the house, and we then give it back to the client to approve. It then goes into design, and it gets approved again. Now, as I said in the beginning, we're quite flexible with the process. So by all means, if UX or design work is something that, a client or somebody wanted to do in-house, they're quite welcome to. We could easily skip those steps in the process. But generally, if we take it on, that's kind of the process we follow. We encourage the clients, or we like the clients to be involved, but we also understand, it depends on, of course, resources and capacity. So there's an opportunity to be as little or as much involved in our process as you like at any step in that process. Once those designs or the UX work is approved, and sometimes you may not have either, and may go straight to development, just as an FYI, but then it gets developed in the tool of your choice or the tool that you're using. We're tool agnostic, of course, on the Spiro front. So, there's many tools we could quite easily code in, or custom code can be developed, and that's where our devs get involved in the process. We're also ensuring that tracking and the necessary events or metrics, etc., are being set up, and we're pulling in the analytics team members at that point. The experience is then going into some form of QA, where we're QAing on our side. And then we're going into like a pre-launch validation, and we're bringing in the client at that point to make sure that everything looks good on the experience front, and we get that client's approval. Once the client has then approved that experience, it's ready for launch. We then launch the experience, and then we let it run its course. And so once statistical significance has been reached by the experience or within the tool, we would come in and we would do that post-test analysis to analyze the results, and again tie it back to, what did we do? How did we run the test? How did we do just in the whole process itself? And did we achieve any of those results? So we're doing that analysis for you. And then I guess based on that, at that point, we're quite coming to the end of the journey. And so we would look to then implement that winning experience on your website or the client's website at 100%. So we do then package up the code and share that and send that over to the client for implementation on the site. So yeah, thanks for tuning into that CRO process blueprint. Again, you can check out our website under the blueprint section to learn more. Thanks.